More showers and storms are on the way on Saturday as our next weather maker approaches, also bringing us some nice temperatures once our front moves through. Plus, drought conditions continue to deteriorate rapidly across much of the ArkLaTex. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Jake Lambright, and we've got a bit to talk about, including some storms that could impact your holiday weekend plans. We'll talk more about that and how they could impact your travel here in just a second. All right, let's go ahead, dive right in to our next weather maker. This one, our next big change, again, bringing us some rain and also some very nice temperatures once it moves through as well. Here's what you need to know about this change. Go ahead and take myself off the screen there. So our next cold front arrives late Saturday, bringing us heavy rain and also a low-end threat for some strong to severe storms. Now, behind this front, high temperatures will be topping out in the low to mid 70s for several days. So we'll feel much nicer and more pleasant out there compared to what we've been dealing with lately across much of the ArkLaTex. So let's talk timing here. Let's start the clock about sunrise on Saturday morning. You'll notice a line of storms there out toward Dallas-Fort Worth, extending into northwestern parts of the ArkLaTex, like McCurtain County in Oklahoma. By lunchtime, most of that rain is out of Dallas-Fort Worth. It's moving through areas like Tyler in the ArkLaTex, Mount Pleasant, up toward DeQueen, getting close to Texarkana. So really it's that I-30 corridor and north that's expected to see the storms by lunchtime. By the middle of the afternoon, these storms will have moved near and south of the I-20 corridor by that point. In fact, I do actually want to rewind the timeline here for just a second. You'll see closer to 1 p.m., that's when we can expect storms closer to Longview, Shreveport, Marshall, to name a few, still impacting areas like Texarkana. And then by the late afternoon, early evening, those storms finally start to exit the region. They're really there on the southeastern end of the ArkLaTex just after dinner time, close to sunset. Areas like Natchitoches, the Toledo Bend, extending out toward spots like Monroe. And then from there, that rain's out of there. And really by sunrise on Sunday, if you're heading out to any Easter Sunday sunrise services, not only is that rain long gone, but we could see a good erosion of cloud cover. So likely seeing some sunshine out there as you get an early start to your day. Now, as I've mentioned a couple times now, the severe threat with this is low. It's not zero, but it is low. Those shaded in green on your screen, that includes areas like Natchitoches, Shreveport, out really the entire ArkLaTex, so Monroe, Alexandria, out toward the Jackson, Mississippi metro. All of those locations in that green shading are under a marginal risk for severe weather. That is a level 1 out of 5 on the severity scale. So just because it's a level 1 out of 5 doesn't mean that severe weather won't happen. It just means that the chance is very, very low. Many of you may be wondering about the risk for tornadoes. I really don't see that being a huge concern here with this round of storms. If we see a strong or severe storm, damaging winds will be the main threat. Otherwise, I would expect some moderate to heavy rainfall and the occasional to frequent lightning. So these storms, even if not severe, may be noisy at times, but the severe impacts will be pretty minimal. For us in the ArkLaTex, I'm expecting another 1 to 3 inches of rain on top of what we have already seen today. Most of us will stay in that 1 to 2 inch range, but those north of the I-30 corridor, so out toward Texarkana, DeQueen, out toward southeastern Oklahoma, could see those locally higher amounts a little higher than 2 inches of rain. This is coming at a perfect time because our new drought monitor came out today and it's trending in the wrong direction. It shows drought conditions continuing to deteriorate across all of the ArkLaTex. I'll actually put last week's drought monitor versus this week side by side here in just a moment. Of course, drought really impacting farming and agriculture across the area. That's big. Hopefully, I'm not an expert on this, but I really hope that this doesn't have any kind of impact on our crawfish season here in Louisiana. That's coming up here pretty soon. But a lot of red on that map. That's extreme drought, level 3 out of 4 on the drought monitor scale. And if you look out toward areas like northeast Arkansas, they're now up to exceptional drought, highest on the drought monitor scale, level 4 out of 4. Another big patch of extreme drought out toward Oklahoma City, kind of the Wichita Falls area, and even out toward South Texas as well. Out toward Corpus Christi, Houston, the Brownsville, Texas area looking a little worse there with exceptional drought, and then New Orleans, especially the South Shore, they're looking at severe to extreme level drought. So a lot of drought across a good part of the South that we need to improve very, very soon. Let me take myself off the screen here for just a second. I'll use my little arrow here to point out some of the big differences here. Last week's update versus this week. We had a patch there of extreme drought last week in Red River and Natchitoches Parish, but it only covered the northern half of Natchitoches Parish, not much of Sabine Parish. Look at how much that's expanded, though. Now the eastern half of Sabine Parish is included in that extreme drought. Also, the western half of Wynn Parish back into Bienville. Again, that area has expanded a good bit. Also, that northern area from last week has expanded greatly too, basically coming right up to Texarkana, including all of Cass County, dipping into Upshur, Marion, Harrison County, into northern parts of Caddo, Bossier, Webster Parish, and even into parts of southwestern Arkansas as well. Again, big changes in the wrong direction. But with this next drought monitor update that we get next Thursday, the rain we saw as the day I'm recording this, Thursday, April 2nd, and the upcoming rain chances this weekend will both be factored in to next Thursday's drought monitor update. Let me take myself off here for just a second so you can see that 7-day forecast. Again, we've got some spotty rain chances in there for Friday, April 3rd, and then the 4th is the one we've got those widespread rain chances I talked about a little bit earlier in this recording. Sunday's looking much better. Sunny skies, highs are back to the low 70s. We're warming up quickly, though, back to near 80 degrees by Tuesday, and we're dry Sunday through Wednesday before rain chances return to the forecast on Thursday. I do anticipate those to increase heading into the end of next week and the following weekend as well. So, of course, want to give you kind of that early first alert to that. So that's all that I have for you today. Don't forget the latest forecast, always streaming for you at ksla.com and on the KSLA app on your Roku, Fire, or Apple TV device. You can always find the latest weather information around the clock at KSLA News 12 on all platforms. You can also follow me on all platforms as well for additional weather updates. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll have another update for you soon.